All right, we are live.
Okay, thanks everybody for joining. Before I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll do our land acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge that the township of Cavan is located on the Treaty 20 Michigan territory in the traditional territory of the Michigan Shinnebank. We offer our gratitude to the nations for their care and teachings about these lands. May we honor these teachings. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Thank you for distributing the agenda. Can we have an approval of the agenda? Don, seconded by Marine. I'm sorry, I just reminded me that it's a recorded vote, so I'm doing this correctly.
Yes, you are doing it correctly. I'll stop you if you're not.
Sure.
No, it's all good. New year, and it's been a while since we've done one. So I'm gonna do a recorded vote now. Dave D'Agostino. John Follis.
Yes.
Kirk Hillsley. Maureen McDonald. Councillor Natchoff.
Yeah.
Chair Jackson.
Yes.
Saskia Madden. And Gary Wall.
Yeah.
It is carried.
Okay, thank you. Can I make a quick change? I'd just like to introduce our new.
Oh, yes, if you want to introduce the new member.
It's not on the my apologies, I thought it was on the agenda.
Hmm.
Okay, we have a new member for this going forward. So could you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm Saskia, lived in Millbrook since 2020. First time coming here was to see the trails, and I'm an avid trail runner, so I spend a lot of time on them.
Okay. Do you have any questions at this time? Or just sort of, have you watched any of the meetings online? Okay, I mean, we're fairly formal in the way that we sort of follow the agenda and things, but formal in terms of thoughts, opinions, you know, what you'd like to say or do or on the trail. So please feel free to speak up. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and nice to have you again. Okay, number 5 on the agenda, the minutes. We can go all the way back to November 25th of last year. Again, thank you very much, Mark, for the minutes. Does anybody have any comments, edits, submissions, inclusions for the minutes from November 25th? Okay, we have an approval of the minutes for November 25th then. Maureen, seconded by Lance.
And I'm going to call the recorded vote now. Gary Wall. Dave D'Agostino.
Yep.
John Follis.
Yes.
Kirk Hillsley. Maureen McDonald.
Yeah.
Councillor Natchoff.
Yep.
Chair Jackson.
Yes.
And Saskia Madden.
Yes.
That is carried.
Okay. All right, moving on to reports. Section 6.1 financial report, Mr. Al.
Yeah, so as of this afternoon's council, the final 2025 budget was approved. So MVP's requests were approved as submitted. So contracted services, there's $2,000. Materials and supplies, $4,800, and we have $15,000 in the capital for the old Millbrook School bridge replacement.
And those funds will be available in March?
They're available
Now.
It's approved.
Yeah.
They're
Okay, great. Yeah. Any other questions for Chris? I have one, just relating to the bridge debt replacement. What's the timeline for that? We thought about that yet?
No, yeah, I was waiting for the approval, so we'll start working on it now and try to get it there before they get busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so same process, tender it out.
Yeah.
And hopefully get.
Yeah, but we'll follow the procurement policy. Yeah.
Okay. And as per discussion for the last bridge, we can hopefully have some say on the design.
So we just plan on the same design.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's what was quoted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only $12,000, so. We'll,
Yeah, okay. And do you need any assistance from us in terms of working with Orca or the contractor?
nope, I think we're good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll work with, Orca to get a permit and, I'll work with contracting and we'll get it installed.
Okay, and just
Yeah.
keep us up to date. Because we'll put on social media and things like that. Should be
Yeah,
closer
sure.
in a number of days.
Yeah, so it'll be probably the same as before, like 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully,
And hopefully early in the spring, so it'll, yeah, sooner the better.
well, yeah, but also, as we've discussed, it's a bit easier to get to this one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Should
it
be
is.
able to back their truck.
Yeah, they'll be coming in right from the school park. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for Chris on that or the budget? No, okay, I think I always ask this, but we need to have a motion to accept Chris's report.
Yep.
Okay, we can have a motion to accept Chris's report, John Bowles, seconded Dave D'Agostino.
And I'll call the recorded vote. Sesky and Matchard. Gary Wall. Dave D'Agostino. John Falls.
Yes.
Kirk Kilsley. Maureen McDonald. Councillor Natcha. And Chair Jackson.
Yes.
That is carried.
Thank you. Okay, 6.2, Meredith Carter from Orca.
Great, thank you very much. Just a couple of updates for you. We recently held our 66th annual general meeting, and that was well attended at the Riverview Park and Zoo. Our annual report is in process, and that will be available in April. Our tree seedling sales program will launch tomorrow. So again, if you do want to order tree seedlings, if you get your order in, the sooner the better, because as always, we have limited availability. We have a bit of a shorter window this year too, and all orders have to be in by the 24th of February. Planning is underway for the rest of our program delivery, including tree planting and education. And right now, we do not have any current flood conditions. We're in a normal status, so that's good. You've probably seen some messages from us over the past couple of weeks, but right now, everything is looking just fine. Be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
You know, Meredith, whether you have any new species this year, or is it the usual group of things to choose from?
It's the same 46 species as last year. Yep.
Any other questions for Meredith? No, okay, thank you very much. Can I have a motion to accept Meredith's report? John Paulus, seconded by Dave D'Agostino.
I'll call the vote. Chair Jackson.
Yes.
Sesky and Matchard.
Yeah.
Gary Wall.
Yep.
Dave D'Agostino.
Yes.
John Falls.
Yeah.
Kirk Kilsley.
Yep.
Maureen McDonald.
Yes.
And Councillor Natcha.
Here.
Carried.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the trail report. Marie and
Oh, it would have been redundant. We want the same things over and over. So, up until today, the status of the trails has been pristine, beautiful throughout. They're well used, they're well, cramped down, and in some places, room where we share access with the mountain bike, club. There is ice in the usual places on Cedar leading up to the Stile Bridge over the small creek, for example. And just as you approach the stairs at the bottom of the fairgrounds and on the stairs themselves, there is some ice, but we expect that every year with the slightest bit of thaw. And for the majority of the winter, it's been fine. It was just that one day of slush we had, and it took. So I do still recommend cleats to everybody. The And of course, I also walk the mountain bike trails, so for what it's worth, they on the end are also pristine and gorgeous and lovely and well used. By people and fat bikes and dogs alike, so. And probably some coyotes, I do see the coyote people there. Now, the caveat to that is that, every time I walk and enjoy Baxter Creek Trail, and it's just gorgeous right now. I'm reminded that right under the snow are a multitude of problems. So there, on November 27th, 2 days after our last meeting, last year, we had some rain, and I walked out along Baxter Creek Loop, between, the mill pond and the fairgrounds too. And then again out to Zion Line to see how much mud and deep water and broken. So still. There is a lot out there. We need real rehabilitation to that area. And as soon as it starts to thaw, it will be a mess, and it way beyond what workday can, what a workday can handle. Approach it somewhat piecemeal, and ask also for Chris's crews to give us some help.
Can you?
As the new construction, yeah, so roughly between the floating bridge and the fairgrounds are the worst sections. There are areas that are just fine, but there's still pieces of old boardwalk jutting out from underneath the higher boardwalk that was built. Some of those have nails, some of the lumber that was left from the construction of the new boardwalk has been moved presumably by walkers to try to make makeshift bridges through areas of flooding. And they are very shifty, and some of those have nails in them. And it's just not ideal. So I did on the 27th or shortly after that, send a video to, I think to Mark and to Chris and to Lance, to let them know, because we didn't have any formal meetings, for the remainder of the year. And certainly right after that, then the weather changed, and we wouldn't have been able to work out there anyway. But just a reminder that though it's very good now, what the weather does over the course of spring, any spring thaws or early thaws may require us, in my opinion, to have to close that portion of the trail temporarily until it dries out again, or until we can get that work done.
Okay, so we talked about this on the 25th, and I forget if you had said that you were gonna send this.
Yes.
From your opinion, is it done, or is there still work to be done?
So from my opinion, it was all done, all the lumber was removed. So there is lumber underneath that was it was being built over the old boardwalk, right? Because we couldn't remove everything. So anything that was sticking out was cut off, taken out, guys hand bombed everything out, because you can't get equipment, right? So whether people picked stuff up and took it further down the trail, that I do not know, because we cleaned up that area, right? So if people moved it before the guys got in there and took it all, that we'll have to address that when it comes up.
Yeah, but from
That was not the area they were had to clean, right?
your opinion, it was,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'll send you, I did send a video.
Yeah.
So that was on the 27th.
Yeah.
So that was 2 days after our meeting. So.
Yeah. We talked about it at our meeting, guys. We're out there after that, yeah.
Oh, after that,
Yeah,
okay.
they went out about 3 or 4 times because they had to handle it all out of there, right? It wasn't just once out there.
So after the 27th of November.
I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, like I can't remember right now, but we did talk about it. And we need that out again.
Yeah, we did the reassessment.
Yeah. And we did talk about putting new boardwalk in there to get this maintenance policy in, right? In those wet spots. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Other than that, there's a small amount of graffiti on a couple of the there. The M&R parking lot, one at the Distillery Street Beat, and the back of the Canada Post boxes at Station Trail.
I haven't.
Yeah, they are, and they're the same author, the same artist. The ones at Distiller at the M&R and at Station Trail just says 9. Says 9.
The the graffiti at the bear box, it's the end of Distillery Street, says "End Billionaires." So I think we have somebody with a little bit of social commentary.
Sure.
They're,
It's pretty.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks to me like a pen, like a
Is that like a Sharpie or is it?
It does do proper, but
Yeah, I mean, it's spray pen for sure.
if you show me, I can sure it is. No, that but he has been posting similar messages,
Yeah.
like probably. So that's why I put it. But the
We'll
one
try graffiti or finger on it.
is that just sharp? Is that exactly?
It's a nice white.
Yeah, it's certainly spray pen. That's what's too, yeah. Okay,
It's just a link environment.
maybe. Yeah, okay, so let me try that.
Yeah, we'll give it a try.
Okay. And it's at the back of the post office on station.
Yeah,
So I guess you'd have to
Post office,
can't
yeah,
post
post
them.
office, yeah.
Okay, and sorry, where was it? At in Millbrook?
at the church.
There are, yeah. So we got the stock ponds, we've got the post office, and we got Station Trail. Or Distillery.
Just the
Street,
Station
yeah. Stock box, that's Station Trail, yeah.
Good.
Needs- Sort of on that note, I wonder if we can think about in the spring. About putting the garbage pail, garbage can at the end of Distillery back. Into the park itself, like beside the trail sign, where it was before.
Okay.
Just, I think it would make it easier for your snow guy.
Yeah, we did move it when we. moved it down.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just put it back to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's not a huge deal when you deal with that, it's right. Okay, sorry, Maria, did you turn?
So I was on all the trails within the last week, but as of today, everything could change, right? With all the wind we've had, so it's a small.
It's Distillery Street.
Yeah.
So yeah, so. On the trails. Okay. Nothing else? Yeah, Don?
Are we supposed to be restocking apps and things from the trail? I know the trails aren't closed, but they're not, theoretically, they're not being used.
Yeah, we are, yes, so the maps are coming.
Yeah,
With the whole-
the only reason I ask, I think next month we're on, whatever, I think you and I are on this.
Maybe.
Is the new list out?
Yeah, we
Yep.
discussed that.
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
It's right here, if you want to reference
I
it.
always come in and say I should have asked for maps before I went out, so I thought I'd come in and ask for them this time. If the maps are available, they're not available.
Looks like we're on in May, John, and maybe the maps will be available by then.
Well, I think, okay, yeah, so Saskia, sorry, a bit of an afterthought, but. Every month, as part of the meeting, we have two members that walk all the trails, and you sort of divvy that up as between the two. And report any issues. Where there's problems, where there's maybe boards need to be replaced. But also, I think you've joined us for a work day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always keep in the back of our minds on these walks, you know, what could be, what we need for a work day. Either the annual work day, or as Maureen mentioned, like we can have sort of separate mini work days per se, right? So areas that may need a boardwalk, what areas that may need some other type of remediation like gravel or flagstone or whatever. So you just sort of keep that in the back of your mind, but anything big obviously needs to be brought to their attention prior to the meeting, if it's like a down tree or something that poses a safety issue. And you can either email myself or Mark or Chris, and Chris's team have been very diligent and getting right to that in terms of, you know, cutting down a tree that's in the way or anything like that. So that's the way that works. And then, yes, I see you're already on the list here. Okay, but we'll go through that in a few minutes here when we get to that section. But that's sort of how that works. Okay, any other questions for Maureen or any other concerns from people that have been on the trails? I know these goes without saying that it's harder to tell problems in the winter when everything's under a foot of snow or more. But has anybody else had any issues or? No? Okay, can I have a motion to accept Maureen's report? Saskia, seconded by Gary.
And I'm gonna call the recorded vote. Councillor Natchoff?
Yep.
Chair Jackson?
Yes.
Saskia Mattern? Gary Wall?
Yep.
Dave D'Agostino? Yes. John Fowles?
Yes,
Kirk Hillsley? And Maureen McDonald?
Yeah.
It is carried.
Okay, we went to section 7, general business, 7.1 the work. So again, Saskia, just for a bit of sort of a living document. Things that we're working on is for the name. And we just sort of go through it, and we have people responsible for each section and sort of work through it as part of our meetings every month.
Let me see if I can move that for you.
Okay, so number 1, trail master plan update. That's that's still ongoing. There's been no work on that. North Trail expansion. I don't have an update, Maureen, do you? No, I think we had asked for some information at the November meeting. You've not received that yet. Would you be able to follow up with that? I'm sorry.
So,
Or did you?
yeah, so that was just the trail construction, right? You're wondering if it was paving or it will be like a limestone based, like basin trail. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we can probably take that less as up for that's confirmed in the surface. Number 3, GIS mapping.
So this is me again, really. So Gator-Aska, I have followed up with them again with no response. So we're gonna push them a little harder and try to get a different contact in there. We have asked for a different contact. So
Okay.
well, yeah, we're still ongoing.
No response, meaning they
No
do not
response at all.
respond at all.
No response at all. No, third follow up, no response.
Okay, number 4 and 5 are still on hold. Number 6, we're going to cover this in the next section, but it is we just leave it as ongoing for now, but I'll provide an update here in a few minutes. Number 7, Dave.
Can I hear?
I'm sorry.
One second, just to circle back to the last point with Chris, can you CC me with any contact with whoever is on the GRCA? Okay, thank you. That's totally not acceptable. I've been here all the time, and if that's the case, then something.
Yeah, so they were gonna bring us a price and demonstration, and then they sort of just dropped off the map. But
Back to you, like.
Yeah.
What is this?
Hmm.
Collaborative. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
I have no update on that one.
Okay. Number 8. So we've talked about the signage. I'll talk about that in the next section. The pamphlet boxes are continuing. My workshop has no heat at the moment, so the last 2 weeks has been too cold to get out and do things at night after work. But I expect, I would like to have them all ready, they will be all ready to put when the weather is better and the trails really start going in the spring, it's the snow months. And again, so that's just for a bit of a background. So last year we budgeted some money to replace all of the sort of cedar pamphlet boxes and doggy bag dispensers. So we're using Trex, the sort of the plastic recycled wood, so that they'll last sort of indefinitely. And I think, I forget the number, it was nearly like something like 36 of them across the trail network. So it's been quite a large undertaking, but that's one of our goals for early 2025, I think. And I would like to see that done before workday. But if not, I think it's a pretty good job for a couple of people or a few people on workday itself. The second part of that, you've sent that to me, correct, Dave? Yep, yes, so that's gone to Big Mountain Sign, and we'll talk about that in the next section here. Number 9, Maureen?
I have nothing to add. The snow has made, anything kind of invisible. Just to say that those same areas that I was concerned about are going to be top priority for this year's spring.
Okay, Mark, can I just have a number 9 there? It's Med Mountain with 2 Ds
Oh,
in the first point.
my apologies. I'm
Just the one D.
particular with spelling. I will correct that. Thank you for spotting it.
Okay, number 10, Chris, what's the meaning of this?
Yeah, so we're working on it. It's in process right now. It'll be a bit, yeah.
Okay.
We'll hopefully have it in place by this spring.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the,
All right, and you're working in conjunction with Orca?
will be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you got details in terms of materials used? Yeah,
Right now, we're just gathering the information right now.
okay.
Yeah.
And number 11, Mark.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting on, I have the building blocks for the policy good to go. I'm just waiting on a direction on a couple specific elements, some of the granular stuff, partially because part of the policy is going to cover other elements than just the trails themselves. There's going to be a specific session for the trails in the policy, but I'm still waiting for some clarification on a couple components of it. Once I have direction, it should speed along, basically.
Do you have a timeline?
I don't want to commit to anything right now. Sorry, I don't have a specific date, but I'm hoping to get it done sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't be more.
But we should be able to do something this one.
Yeah, oh, definitely. The policy is meant to speed up the decision-making process, and that'd be counterintuitive if we did not have this done by the end of the year.
Okay, because this is something we've been talking about.
Yes. No, staff agree with you, and we're totally on board that we want to actually find a solution for this, but also speed up things if there are any other requests to name portions of the trail or parts of items of the trail going forward. So
Yeah, this is a concept-wide policy. So it's not just going to be the Millbrook Trail, it's going to be encompassed in that policy, right?
yes, we're waiting on some specific components. Like I said, direction there are other components that don't have to do with the Millbrook Valley trails that I'm waiting for clarification on for the scope. That's why.
So it's a little more in depth than
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
just
that.
one for the Millbrook Valley
Mhm.
trails.
Yeah. Again, Saskia, maybe just for some quick background on number 10 and 11. So, Millbrook Valley Trails used to be able to do all the maintenance on the trails in terms of building boardwalk and bridges and things. That policy's changed in the last little bit, and so when Chris talked in his section about That's for specific contractors now apparently need to build bridges, so we need to task extra money, obviously, for have people come to do that. And then the township is working in conjunction with Orca, Meredith and her team on designing a policy on how we build boardwalks going forward, because it's been sort of a, I don't know, I'm saying, not laissez-faire, but you know, we've sort of just built boardwalks as we've seen fit in the past. It's formalized the process. It's a good way to put it, yes. And then number 11 is, I'm sure you've noticed if you walk the trails regularly and things, that there are certain commemorations to people who have worked on the trails over the years. And so that we're just coming up with, again, a formalization to that, because the floating bridge specifically is something we have talked about, commemorating a former long-standing member of the committee for his work. But it's good to have a policy in place going forward, because as you know, things constantly change. And one of our directives is obviously to continue to expand the trail network. So as we get bigger and more infrastructure like things are done, we'd like to sort of recognize the hard work of the people that help. Okay,
Perfect.
any questions? Great. Is that it? Anything more?
No, that's it for the work plan for now, unless the committee wants to add stuff for next meeting.
Yeah, so any questions on the work plan? Any comments? Additions?
Could I just ask with regard to the invasive spraying? I haven't taken tenders or anything like that now for years, because it's so unusual to find anybody who does that kind of work who also is a frequent user of the trails and knows them well enough that they understand the terrain and know what kind of equipment they're going to need. Is it okay for me to just continue year on year? Okay.
Yeah, as of right now. Yeah.
Is
It's
there a
not
dollar?
like it's a huge project where you have to tender it out.
Is there a dollar value where it has to be tendered out?
There's, yeah.
Yeah. then
Yeah.
it's not just that.
No.
Yeah.
Just for Chair Jackson, it's under the purchasing policy for the township. I want to say the number is, oh my God, Chris, I want to say 5,000 or, yep. Thank you, Councillor Nash. Sorry, I should know it off the top of my head.
It's just that interest. Is that?
It was approved by council.
Mhm.
It's approved policy for the township.
Yeah, okay.
It gets reviewed.
Procurement across the board.
Mhm.
for any scenario.
It gets reviewed. And
Yes. Okay. Okay. Any questions on the work plan? No? Can I have a motion to receive the work plan? Lance, we'll put it all down follows.
Recorded vote, Maureen McDonald. Councillor Natchell,
Got it.
Chair Jackson,
Yes.
Saskia Bassard. Gary Wall.
Yeah.
Dave D'Agostino,
Yes.
John Follis,
Yes.
and Kirk Hilsley.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's carried.
Thank you. 7.2 update on signage. That's me. So those of you who discussed this extensively over the October and November meetings. So we are updating our signage and putting new signs at various locations on the trail network. So that work has been, I've discussed that with sorry, the name, Big Sky Design in Peterborough. Yep, and so that is ongoing. I need to follow up. I apologize. I meant to do that today, but didn't have time prior to this meeting. But I will have a larger update and hopefully things in hand for our next meeting. I would like to see the new pamphlets printed and out. As John said, certainly prior to the spring, or at least ready for the spring when the trail use gets heavy again. Obviously, in terms of putting out new signage, we won't be able to do that until the ground thaws. But whether that can be done as part of workday or prior to workday, it's all gonna depend partly on Mother Nature and, you know, other timing of resources. But I think we're, well on the way to getting that. It's been sort of a long time coming, but sometimes things are like that when it's done by committee, right? So not much more than that to say unless anybody has any any questions on that? No? Okay. Can I have an approval of, I guess, my report, or, sorry?
No, we don't actually need a motion for this. I'll just note the committee discussed it, because you're not adding an item and it's part of the work plan, so.
Okay, 7.3 updated trail report schedule. Popped it up before, we could pop it up again.
Basically, the schedule is almost the same, except I added in Siskia on April 28th. I thought you'd have a look at what a couple trail reports look like, and then you have your first go at it. And then everybody just kind of got booted with the addition. So you have a different trail report partner. Hopefully you're happy with your new buddy. Other than that, not much to say.
That's okay to you? Yeah, okay. Anybody have any issues? No, no. Doing their duties. Okay, we need to approve this. Okay, motion to approve the updated trail report schedule, please. John, seconded by Kurt.
Kirk Hills.
Yep.
Maureen McDonald. Councillor Natchell. Chair Jackson.
Yes.
Saskia Madden. Gary Well.
Yep.
Dave D'Agostino. And John Fellis.
Yep.
That is carried.
Okay. Meeting. Anybody have anything that they'd like to discuss? Certainly I'll have an update on signage, but don't need to add that. That's already part of the work plan, correct?
Yeah, but you can add it as a separate item under general business like you did this week if you so desire. It's just
No, I
depends.
think I'd like an update on the policy and the signage, but yeah, and the GIS, but that's all in the work plan, so I think we need separate.
If I put a order, the end date is February 24th. Just before the next meeting, so I want to know how much money I have to use.
Oh, I guess I missed that, but the Meredith, that's correct, that needs to be in by February 24th?
Yes, it does. Yep.
When would this, does that seem early?
It's a little earlier, yet the nurseries asked that we submit our orders earlier this year, because otherwise they sell out.
Okay,
So yes, that's why I wanted to let you know that, yeah, it has to be in the day of the next meeting, so.
So the day of the next week.
But I would encourage you not to wait that long, because everything, there may be species that you cannot get,
Right, okay.
because we do sell out.
Good. John?
Should we make a motion for an update?
Well, I think that's, yeah, do you have the information of what we spent last year?
No, I'm sorry. If I had a second, I could pull it afterwards, but maybe Chris can help you out. It'd be coming from materials and supplies. I'd imagine that's about the only thing I could tell. Sorry, Robert.
Do you remember, Meredith? Jen?
What did you order last year?
What we spent last year?
I don't know, but I will look it up while we're talking, okay?
That works.
Do you know what number of seedlings you need?
It would have been the February meeting.
Maybe I can look it up on my phone.
Yeah, I thought it was 250 to 3. So
Here we go. Meeting on right here, Monday, February 27th, section 10.2 Orca seedling order. That Maureen McDonald will work with Meredith Carter to place a seedling order through Orca for an upset limit of $350. Moved by Lance, seconded by Gary. Do we have any idea, Ms. Carter, has prices increased exponentially as other things have in the last year?
For you, Mr. Chair, not exponentially, but yes, they have increased.
10%?
Any idea on the percentage of increase, Meredith?
It depends on the species. Some are, yeah, sorry.
I'd be very happy with 350 and probably
Well-
wouldn't at all.
But what I was just gonna say, I don't know, if we spent 350. 250, right? So that's 250, 275. And Should I get on it too, but, 350 again?
350 then suits, well, I think.
Well, they, on the optimism, it's spent about $350 for the reseeding.
But not.
Just to confirm, Chris or Chair Jackson, do you specify if it comes from materials and supplies or,
It would be materials.
okay,
We plant those, so we're the contractor.
yeah, okay, sounds good. I'll probably add that just to specify where the money is coming from, but otherwise, I have the motion.
And, sorry, was it John, second, or Dave,
Sorry,
Get that done.
well, yeah.
yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. John Fallis?
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah.
I took that as a silent assent. That it's good to hear verbally. Kirk Hilsley?
Yep.
Marie McDonald?
Yeah.
Counselor,
Yes.
Chair Jackson?
Yes.
Saskia Manning? Gary Well?
Yep.
And Dave D'Agostino?
Yes.
Excellent, it is carried.
Thank you. And so, I apologize, did you say when they'd be available?
Through you, Mr. Chair, they'll be available at the end of April, likely the 24th and 25th. If we have a cold spring, it would be the week after, so the 1st and 2nd of May.
Okay, that should be good, because we usually try to find the work day, which in the last few years has been the second week of May, so. That'd be great. Okay, well, that's wonderful, thank you. Maureen, let us know if you need any help with that, and certainly we can discuss pickup and things, the time comes. Okay, going back to section 7.4, any other items for the next meeting that we'd like to see included or discuss? No?
Just to clarify, Chair Jackson, did you want the seedling order to be an item that would be discussed next meeting? Or, yes,
Yeah,
okay.
that's probably good, thank you. Yeah, Marie can provide that, they should purchase.
Are there any species that anybody here would like to see on the trails that we don't have yet?
Cherry blossoms.
Yeah. The choices we've made in previous years have been good, but diversification is great too. Maybe you're sort of the expert. What grows best where? So, we leave it to your very capable hands. But again, if you want any assistance, just shoot us an email. We could discuss. Sorry, Meredith, do you have go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Last year you ordered Bebb's Willow, Red Osier Dogwood, and River Birch. One bundle of each, so 75 seedlings in total. If that's helpful.
Do you have a total there, Meredith?
I can't. Give me 10 seconds. I just have to run it up. I've got your packing slip, so it doesn't have the pricing, but I know what the prices are, so I can do it really quick for you.
Yeah, the ballpark would be fine. Doesn't matter. We don't have any other items to add for the next meeting. Do we need a motion to?
Just the one item, yes, we do.
A motion to add the seedling order to the agenda for the next meeting. Maureen, seconded by John Paulus.
Kirk Hilsley?
Yeah.
Maureen McDonald?
Yeah.
Councillor Natchell?
Yes.
Chair Jackson? Saskia Manning? Gary Well?
Yep.
Dave D'Agostino?
Yes.
And John Fallis?
Yes.
Yep, that is carried.
Okay, thank you. Meredith, do you have an answer? Don't need to pressure you.
No, I do. You spent about $215. That's including the HST, so you likely would have had a rebate on part of that. But that's what your invoice would have been. $215.83.
think we're very safe with the three. Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, well. Do it under an hour, just under an hour. Okay, just ask you, the meetings in the winter time are a bit more abbreviated just because obviously there's less to see and do on the trail, but yeah, get into a bit more detail as the thaw comes and we can get out there explore what needs to be done and get. Thank you very much again for coming and thanks very much for joining. Okay, can I have an adjournment for tonight's meeting and with the caveat that the next meeting date is February 24th at 4 p.m.
Dave D'Agostino. John Fallis,
Yes.
Kirk Hillsley. Maureen McDonald,
Yeah.
Councillor Nashaw,
Yes.
Chair Jackson,
Yes.
Saskia Mattern, and Gary Wall.
Yep.
It is Gary.
Thank you everyone. See you in a month.
Have a good day, Meredith.
Thanks, everyone, and I appreciate you accommodating the hybrid meeting.
No problem. Dave.